Hello Internet, my name's Chris. Today I'm going to talk with you about why it's important to replace your fire detector, your smoke detectors every 10 years, and you'll see why. So these are all of the smoke alarms from my house. So I had a total of 10 smoke alarms. And you want a smoke alarm to do two things. You want it to be really loud so that it wakes you up, and then you want it to set off all the other smoke alarms in your house. So that's called a relay system, and we'll talk more about that. But as you can tell here, 8 out of the 10 alarms that I had didn't trigger the relay system when I tried them. Only 2 of those did, and half of the alarms were really quiet, and I'll show you that. So one of these nice loud alarms, when it goes off, it's really loud. Oh, so that's really loud. I'll wait for that one to stop. And these guys just weren't at all. Like I can talk over these. This is not enough to wake me up in the morning. None of these really are. That's just really not that loud. So that's the kind of thing that's just not gonna wake you up for sure. So this one's obviously sick. So all of these are past due for their expiration. You can see right there. See if I can get it in focus. But that says 2002, September 25 is when this was made, and it's supposed to be replaced in 10 years. And these guys were made in 2004. So both of those so basically all these are expired and need to be replaced. I'll talk to you a little bit more about relay systems in just a second. Okay, so when you have a smoke detector system installed in your house, what you want is whenever one smoke detector goes off, you want all of them to go off at the same time. So if you have a fire in your child's bedroom or your baby's bedroom, you want the smoke detector in your bedroom to go off. You want the smoke detectors all throughout the house to go off. Additionally, if you have a home alarm system, you want that to go off as well. So whenever you see a smoke detector, there are typically 3 wires that come out of it. A black wire, which is your hot wire, which carries 120 volts AC. A white wire, which is the neutral, which is the other half of the circuit for the power to the smoke alarm. And then there's a red or yellow wire that comes off and runs to each different smoke detector into your home alarm system. So this is what it looks like. So here your black and your white wires are your hot wire and your neutral wire, which are used to power the fire alarm. And then this red wire connects to all the other fire alarms in your house and sends a signal if a fire is detected or smoke is detected. This is typically a 9-volt DC current that is sent throughout the wire. So when that happens, you should send that signal to all the smoke detectors, and all the smoke detectors should go off at the same time. This is another smoke detector. It's got a yellow wire instead. Here you have your hot wire, your neutral, and your 12-volt relay wire. So on these smoke detectors that were in my house, to show you again, there were 10 of them. I took all the 9-volt batteries out. You can see those now. And only the top left one was both loud and triggered the relay system for all the other smoke alarms to go off. That said, all the ones that didn't trigger the relay also didn't receive the relay signal either. So that's really bad. So 1 out of 10 of my smoke detectors was actually working. Okay, so this is one of the functioning loud, actually the only functioning loud fire alarm that I have. So when you push the test button, it should set off the home alarm system as well. And there you hear it working. All right, and by contrast, so this is one of the loud alarms that does not activate the relay system. So when I push this button, it's quite loud, but there's no alarm going off. It doesn't trigger the rest of the house fire system. That's all you get is just one alarm going off. So this is This is a loud alarm that does not trigger the relay system. Again, it goes off, it's quite loud, but it does not trigger the relay system, doesn't trigger the home alarm, doesn't wake up wouldn't trigger the alarm in your own bedroom if there was a fire in your child's room. So, to summarize, I have 10 fire alarms in my house, and 9 of them, 90% of them have some form of fault. Half of them aren't loud. 80% of them don't trigger the relay system and aren't triggered by the relay system. So that means that just basically there's a lot of vulnerability in the fire alarm system in my house. So what I'm going to do, and what I recommend that you do if you're interested, is to check your fire alarms. Make sure that your fire alarms are less than 10 years old, and replace them every 10 years. There are now fire alarms on the market that have 10-year batteries in them, so you don't have to worry about replacing batteries every 6 months or every year, because you want the battery system to also function well in your fire alarms. So the last thing I have is, if this statistically, does it even matter? So these are some statistics that I've sourced at the beginning of this video. So in 2013, there were 1.24 million fires in the United States, 3,240 deaths, almost 16,000 injuries, and a financial loss of $11.5 billion. So if you do the math, that translates to a little over $9,000 of loss every time there's a fire. There's a 0.26% chance of dying every time you have a fire, and a little over a 1% chance of dying or of having an injury if you have a fire. So it's about a 1 in 400 chance of dying if you have a fire, and a little over 1 in 100 chance of having some kind of injury when you have a fire. If you look at the number of people in the United States of America, the yearly death rate, that's the yearly death rate of people in fires. That's roughly a 1 in 97,000 chance that you're going to die this year in a fire. By comparison, this is the rate of homicide inside the United States. All statistics are from 2013. You have about a 5-fold risk of dying by homicide in the United States. So obviously you should do everything possible to keep yourself from being killed. Homicide by firearm, it's about 1 in 28,000. So again, try not to get shot out there. As far as rates in suicide, the average person in the United States has a 1 in 7,657 chance of dying by suicide. So what that means is it's really important that that you keep your friends and family close to you, and make sure that if they're depressed, or if they ever talk to you about killing themselves, that you really take this seriously. You have an over 10-fold chance of you or one of your loved ones has over a 10-fold chance of killing themselves or of dying by suicide as compared to dying by fire. For traffic fatalities, your risk is about 1 in 6,000 per year of dying in a car crash or a truck crash. So it's really important that you buckle your safety belt, drive safely, don't take risks. When you think about running that red light, it can add seconds to your life or take your life in seconds. So be very careful how you drive, and remember to buckle your safety belt. As far as global terrorist deaths, we talk a lot about terrorism in the United States. So over the past 20 years, from 95 to 2014, this video was made in 2016, there were just over 3,500 deaths of U.S. citizens around the world from terrorist activities. A lot of those came, the vast majority came from the World Trade Centers in 2001. Pardon me, 2001. Sorry about that. So if you adjust that on a year-per-year basis, your risks of dying from a terrorist incident are remarkably just low. Your odds of, if you're concerned about the terrorist threat in America, just by statistics, you should be about 20 times more concerned with home fires than with terrorist threats. So please take home fire seriously. Lastly, there's a lot about police violence and police killings. Over the past 6 years, there have been 2,442 police killings, and that's irrespective of justification or whether it was an unarmed victim or anything like that. Those are all the killings by police in the United States. So that's a yearly incident of over 1 in 700,000. So obviously we should all take police violence very seriously, and we should all as a community make efforts to have fewer people killed by police. But again, if that's something that we care about, again, we should care about home fires almost 10 times as much. So because we're all at about a tenfold risk of dying in a house fire as we are of being killed by a police officer in the line of duty. So yeah, I think it matters, and I think that puts things into perspective. Again, all the sources for these statistics are available at the links provided in the description of this video. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.